I am your host, Kara Idaka, and today we have a guest called Caroline Bossy Oreng, or is it Oreng Bossy? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Like you said, the first one I got it right. It's Caroline Oreng Bossy.
And she's a counseling psychologist, a mother of
6.
Amazing. Welcome to the show. Our show today is about parental alienation. Kindly introduce me to that topic. It seems very interesting.
Yeah, it is an interesting topic. Actually, it is what is going on, but the name probably is what is might make you feel like as if it's kind of new. Parental alienation is basically whereby 2 parents are separated and one parent goes away with the children, and that parent who has the child or the children teaches them, coaches them, or makes them hate the other parent. So a child grows up knowing that other parent is the bad one. And
mostly in our country, the parent that ends up with the child is the mother.
Yeah.
So inasemekana inaegemea kwa wanaume ama kwa wanawake?
Actually, in both kiasi, it's not a gender issue, by the way. We have to make sure we understand that it's not a gender issue. It's only that now, when it ends up with a man, most likely you find the man is powerful, has money, can control, and so he gets the custody of the children.
Yes.
But in natural cases, we know that it's the mother who should have the child. So we rarely see the cases where the father ends up with the child after going to court. Yeah, but it only happens to a man, mostly, not all the time, when the father is powerful in one way or the other.
Let's say well off with money.
Yes, and can call shots.
And how does it manifest, this whole parental alienation?
It manifests in very many ways. At first, let's give an example whereby parental alienation usually happens. 80% of women are the ones who usually are alienators. They're the ones who end up being abusers, because parental alienation is actually a child abuse, okay? So you find when the court suggests or rules out that you share the custody, we have something called custody, right?
Yes.
So the man usually have visitations.
Yes.
So when the time to visit the child comes, the mother might decide to change the dates, the time, or give excuses like the child is sick, cannot come, you can't call, you can't call Amelala, so it starts poly with giving excuses, so the man does not have that time to be with the child.
What is the difference between parental alienation and estrangement?
We've had cases whereby children are molested by their fathers, or they are abused by the mothers, so that's the difference. Parental alienation, basically, it's where one parent who has a child makes false accusations. Like, for example, the case of Mbua, the guy who was out 10 years in court and in jail, and then the daughter, after growing up and realizing it was all a lie, came out and said, yeah, that's now parental alienation. But estrangement is whereby it actually happened, whereby the father or the mother abused this child. It's true, so that's what the difference is.
Abuse ranges from kutompeleka shule, kumpiga physically. What are the examples of the things parents do to their children to get to this level?
A lot. This one, again, parental alienation, let me just make this clear, it's quite difficult to explain or to identify, because basically it's emotional abuse. You do not see a child being beaten. You do not see a child being not taken to school. You do not see a child, denied the chance to go for medical attention.
Yes.
It is emotional. The child is made to believe that the other parent is a bad one. Imagine a child who is 3 years old and is fixed in the child's mind that your dad did this. So the child grows up knowing that even if an adult, ikifanyika kweli, ushayakiuziwa ile design, unafanya kitu na ndio sikufanya, lakini
unajishuku
So that's what happens to a child. So the child grows up knowing that that parent is bad. So it is emotional. The child is struggling to find out, did it happen? Did it not happen? What really happened? And then the child is also forced to carry the burden of lies. The identity is taken away from that child. You understand?
Yes.
Like the case of the Wambua, just that case.
Yes.
The child, that girl grew up and that just came to know in Wongo. So all those years, that child has been carrying the burden. Budangu for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Kidusi kubeba. I didn't have a relationship with my dad. How do I even go to start and say I'm sorry? So when him there tokelezea asemenyewe ni uongo imemsukuma. And then if you know the case of Virginia Kamotho, ni story imeendelea ilijajiwa 2 months ago, a month ago. This is a woman who's her own children walimchapa wakamfukuza iko kwa tuko mzee wake. Yeah? Alifukuzwa, it's live. People saw it. Whatever alifukuzwa nao wakamtukana kampeni which and everything else. But she was fighting for her own children. You understand?
Yes.
So when the children grew up, the first two, the girl and the boy, they came to realize ilikuwa uongo. You understand?
Yes.
So they decided to go and ask forgiveness their mother.
Yeah.
But already your burden ilikuwa hapo hivyo.
Wakona hiyo uchungu. It is something that has developed in them.
Imagine you at this age you come to realize it was true. Yet ulikuwa mdogo ulichapa madhako ukamfukuza ukamtusi.
Ukidhania na kutesa.
So mdogo alikusho.
Yeah. Your mother is the one who
is
causing all of this.
That's what I'm saying. It is not anything to do with gender. It happens both ways. The only problem here again is that it's different when it comes to behavior, because if, for example, I was your wife and we separated and I accuse you for things that are not true, and I end up taking you to court for no reason, maybe you don't even have the money, you end up here. So wewe example ni koti, children's office, polisi, unashikwa kutoza uongo.
Yes.
Unaenda unakuwa unaboeka. Some men will end up drinking. So when you end up drinking, wasana sema ngala bila kusema na kali mlevi. Hata nisema kwa mtu hii, people don't know what you have gone through. Some men will might decide if this woman has been living with my children, I can still make other children. Anyway,
I can still get another wife.
I can still get another family. You see, yeah.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So when that man goes inside another family, the community or the society will point fingers at you. How dare you leave your own children to start another one? I don't care, because guys won't understand what really happened up here. So this issue of deadbeat dads.
Yes,
some of them are not true. Some of these men are not deadbeat. They are dead broke. Because mother America says that if you want to see the children, what is the amount of money?
Every time you want to see
the children. So I formula that every month I'll be doing this. So it will never enough. So if you want to see the children, I punish you by using the children because I know you love your children so much.
Tunapenda watoto sana.
So some of them now wanajitoa wanasema I knew that woman. Kama ni watu wengi wanafanya tu iko na hizi stress. Wataka. So the society will be like
and it is a very common name to brand a man who is not taking care of the family.
It is.
And sometimes the man actually can take care of the family, but the stress that comes with it. How do we establish that fine divide between being that alienation, and being the good dad or good mom? And we had paused on bedroom matters. Decisions are made in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So if the bedroom things are not working, one will suffer definitely. And bringing the children into this most of the time divides the family. Even the children might be divided which parent they want to be with. How do we, let me say, support the children on this matter?
Co-parenting. It's happening. People cooperate all the time. But you see the situation whereby the two of you separate, the worst mistake is when you as a parent start discussing your issues with your children. Like, your mom did this, your mom did this, your dad did this. You see you are hungry because your dad decided to go and drink with that money or marry with the woman. So the children knows that you guys separated because of what? They're supposed to know all that. Wise parents would say things like, me and your dad, me and your mom, things will not work out, but we love you guys so much. There's nothing to do with you. And sometimes when people separate, the children usually believe it's because of them. Because if I'm a wife, kupiga simu, tuma pesa ya food, tuma fees ya Ebenezer. Ebenezer nasikia, na kupunguza kurudishana maneno. So najam, "Posa nimeona, ngenda shule." You know the way it goes. So the child grows up believing, because sababu yangu wase
wanapigana.
Yeah, so the name is being mentioned.
Yes.
Because when you separate what else we have to discuss is the children, yeah?
Yes.
So the children's name will always be
In our conversations.
in our conversations, yeah. So you find as parents who are not really keen about this, they'll most of the time discuss issues with the children. It's because we are hungry, it's because we don't go to school, because of your dad. So the children grows knowing that Baba on your or the dad is like, so the way mom is putting on expensive wigs.
No.
Can't even buy for you shoes. Yeah, I'm the one who buys for you everything. So tuana gura kijua budangu anataka kila kitu madangu kaza kile kubai wigs kupoa unajua
kujipamba.
Yeah, and sometimes you see we are in a situation whereby women are nowadays busy. Unapata mimi nitarudi shule, job, nini, so then I don't have time kiasi. So you as my ex takes that and use it against me. You see, you're not going to yes. Mama kuangi anashindana yuko every week and travel. No, she doesn't have time if she doesn't love you. So mtana kuna kidogo badangu ananga time na sisi.
Yes.
So you see, those are not the kind of things we need to discuss with the children. Yes.
In front of the children.
Not even with them, not even in front. Some parents literally discuss this thing with the children. They discuss the divorce, they discuss what happened, they discuss everything else with the children.
And they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to. It's not their duty to carry your problem.
They're
supposed to. Yeah, they're supposed to. They're supposed to think about homework, Nickelodeon, football, yeah. And you see, some parents will say use words like, "I can't force a child to come and see you." Who's the adult here? It's not like if a child says, I don't want to go to school. Don't be okay, fine, sleep. You tell the child, I'm not going to school because it's important. Yes. So our wise parents are supposed to tell the child, listen, whatever happened between the two of me and your dad is between me and your dad. But you have to still go and see your dad or your mom, and you have to respect.
They are
They're our parents. So in situations whereby, unfortunately, again, it happens so much when a man marries another woman.
Remarries.
Yes, another woman. So if the father is the alienator, he'll make the children to love the stepmom more than their real mother. And it can work very easily again.
So there's a point there whereby me being the father and the provider, I can actually make the children love me more by spoiling them.
Yes.
When I take them, ninawapeleka kwenye mama yao haizi wapeleka.
Exactly.
So it can be positive, you can use positivity to a negative state.
Yes. Yes.
And I have a point here that you said gender-based. It is not gender-based.
It is not gender-based. It's not gender-based at all.
It is, how is it?
Because a man can alienate and also a woman can alienate. As much as women are the biggest alienators because they are the ones who are given custody, so they take advantage of that. But men also do it, not in a bigger percentage, but they also do it.
Yes.
Yeah, there are women also there who are growing with their children because the father was the one who was the provider. Yeah, and so they tell the child, maybe the mother hakonado,
she's a housewife.
No, of separation that is. There's a more sudden because you're the one who's providing for me.
Yes.
Tumeachana, nimeenda, so na husband. Nifulie na shipoka bed sitter. Wewe kuna nyumba kubwa, so when bedrooms, each child has their own room, yeah? They can go to school, so na watoi. Look at that, you don't need to be with your mother. Yeah, you don't need to be your mother, you can't sleep that kind of place. Your mother can't provide the food that, I can. So the children are kind of, feel like, for them to go, I mean, kuna TV, kuna food, kuna nini, so yeah. So that's the thing.
What are the mitigations of such a case?
The mitigations. This is where now it's crucial. Because like I said before, it is not easy for somebody to identify parental alienation. Because when a child says, I don't want to be with my mom, or I don't want to be with my dad, people will take it like that. Because a child is supposed to be believed. You can't question. When a child says that I was raped, you're not supposed to question. So people will take it that way. So that's the reason why I'm trying so hard. Actually, I have a petition in Parliament that is suggesting we have counselors and psychologists in all public facilities. So when the government hires us and we are primarily employed, we'll be able to find out these cases and follow up and get to understand, is this estrangement equally or is it parental alienation? And we have to work very closely with the courts Because that's where most of the decisions are
these
being
things
made.
are made. Yeah.
Yes, we have to work with the children's offices, because that's again where people usually go. And we also have to work with schools, because we find some schools, some very good schools, apart might say, ule, asichukue mtoto, usijiko na mtoto kwa shule. Unajua, some schools that are organized where the child has a specific person
to pick them from
to pick from school. So we find that those happens. If that can be put in place, maybe it's a step forward.
A policy.
Yeah, it's a policy kind of. And unfortunately, even in Kenya, we don't have a lot of family lawyers. Most lawyers that I talk to are like, family matters.
In an African setting, such things, because even to me, parental alienation is a foreign concept, whereby I never believed that nikienda na mzazi ninaweza chagua, because this child is not mature enough to know niende na dad, niende na mom. Na nikienda na mom, nafaa kupenda dad, nafaa kupenda mom.
Exactly.
That thing is very, it is in our society.
Yeah, it is actually, and it's growing very fast. So most of these people, children who are growing up with single parent, it's not because they didn't have anything to do with it. Some of them are made to be like that. Like I told you, you can really get tired when somebody keeps pushing you away.
Yes.
And you decide, come on, what way of them to contain stress. Yeah, look at these suicide cases we have in men mostly. But they made we do. You're the one. We had last month we had a guy who killed a daughter because of this thing of custody. Yes, it was all there. So we do not know, because this is new and people have not really tried to find out exactly how can it affect both parents or even the children. So a man will decide, maybe
ananyonga wote pia.
Ama kipata mtu yeye ananyonga ama yeye mwenyewe ananyonga, because imagine uko constitution ile by wife ex-wife wako amekusha 50,000 every month. Without that, weishia. We have a case whereby mother decided akachukua toi akatoka kwa shule kwa naendanga kwa shule nyingine private, where this man cannot afford. So you find a man mwenye anataka mtu wake sana, hana life, because pesa yake tunaenda wapi?
Kwa watu.
Haizi kwa wife mwingine, atamprovide na nini na huko mwingine pia.
Na koti ndio imesema.
Koti imesema most of the day koti, when it comes to custody, court has a way of looking at how much you're earning, and most of the cases the man is really made to pay for medical cover, expenses and school fees. Rent inaitwa sana mama na food ya kawaida, kwa sababu mimi nikishashikana na wewe unanipa rent na nikuletea mwingine anakuwa hao. Ndio mwingine sana, so court na anasema baba chukue fees na
medical.
So you can pay that to the school, you can pay that to the insurance, or you can send money and things are done.
So it might change.
You're saying the court precedents should changes. Something happens, changes, yeah.
Yes.
But you see now, you don't want to. She don't like quote, so I take advantage. So not you want sana, yeah. Sasa kwa hivi.
Tusimamia kwa kupenda watoto. Let's take a break on one-on-one, and when we come back, tutaguzia kitu inaguza vijana wa siku hizi sana. We are coming back. Welcome back to one-on-one. Imechacha moto. Sasa imefika mahali nauliza. What are the effects of these two families now, because they are separate, remarrying and getting other people in the city?
Well, it's tough, especially if the alienator, most of the alienators actually, they usually have a condition called narcissistic disorder, whereby they feel like they're the bosses and the rule, and the word goes and the word is final.
Yes,
and they can really harass the other person who is coming in the system because of the other person. Unanicheki ni mimi kana mtu mwingine maisha inapoa nara unajua, so unaspeculate wivu ya, so you know very well that at this moment tuko kwa bed. Sasa tunapiga simu, oh mbeni usiku.
Na hizo za saa 8 ya usiku.
Manze, so na bring incidences. Na bring incidences ziko, unaelewa? So somehow it's kinda not a good thing. And wise parents, let me just call them wise parents. they usually have a system on how to cooperate. Because when we were together, we had roles. Like for example, in this house, the children have to bed by 5, they eat by 6, they go to bed by 8.
By 8.
Yeah. So no, it's actually in this house it's 8 period.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we separate now, I want to break the rules so that the children feel like I'm more better than you. So I let the children watch TV until very late.
You become the cool parent.
Yeah, they become the cool parent. So the children use that to not come to see you because now we're making his own rules. So in our hard, the step parent who is coming in can be made to alienate or can be made to be the targeted parent also as well. So the children are told she's not a good person, he's not a good person, and you have a step parent.
Kuna some demystifying that needs to be done. Even when you're marrying this new person, your children need to know that I want to have another person. Try and explain to them how do I even start that conversation with my child.
It depends on the age of the child. If the child and the way you introduce this person in the family is also important because if a child is 6 years and below, akikuona out loading, mara mingi unakaa before the planner. You don't just bring somebody in the house. I'm like how what's happening. That's my mom's bedroom. So it's the way you bring in this new person in the family. Let them blend and let them, that's jail.
Tunajua tunaitagwa anko mara ya kwanza. Then it builds up. Then switching from uncle to dad.
That's what the mistake is.
Tusianze na uncle.
So how that's a happy idea. So and it's an African thing by the way. But if it is a good thing for me, I feel like that's me. Yeah, I feel like you introduce this person slowly by visitation. Naenda 1 hour naenda. So the child will ask, "What was cousin Wairehu? Who is this?" So like me and dad, me and mom, together. So I'm feeling like get to understand what the child feels about it. Yes. Or you can even ask prior, what do you feel like if I get married again?
If I start dating.
So start dating again, the child, but some children will really go like, no, adults will like, well, yeah.
Mom or dad has to be happy.
Yeah, it has to be happy. But when it comes to parental alienation, it's quite different because the person who has a child will not let you move on. Seriously, who are happy.
So parental alienation will not happen inside the family setting.
It will happen still.
It can happen.
It can happen still. So if I find a situation whereby I am the one with the child, I tell my children that my current husband is the coolest. So how do you trust a stranger who's not the father of these children with your children, and you don't trust the biological? It doesn't make sense. Yes. Yeah, remember you're talking about parental alienation, not estrangement. Yes. Because I know a situation whereby the stepfather can protect the stepdaughter from the actual
father.
So
he was probably abusive.
Yes, probably abusive. But this situation whereby parental alienation is selfish thing. Because you make my children love this new person whom they don't know, and you make them hate their own father. How does it even make sense?
I get you now.
Yeah, so when we have the system and we sit down with the court and the judiciary and the children's office, we'll come out with interventions on how can we work this. When you guys are separated, you're supposed to come for at least 8 weeks for counseling and for training on why these children are not supposed to be made to love the other person with conditions.
Sasa tukuje training na tuelewani.
No, some other countries, developed countries, the court demands. The court you must do this. It's like a probation. Umefungwa umeshikwa makosa, so report. So it's kind of the same thing.
Which should be a good thing.
It will be a good thing if it's put in the system.
If it comes in the system.
Yeah, if it comes in the system, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to help a lot of people. And most of these children that we're seeing nowadays with behavior disorders. If you look keenly, you'll find that it has something to do with that.
The way they've been parented.
Yeah, it hasn't to do with a child being forced to hate the other parent. This child believing that my mom is the coolest because he's a single mom and the child begged to believe that my dad is the cool man because mother yuko. I have a case right now whereby a guy 40 years just came to learn the truth that what he was told about his mom were honors. They were separated when he was only 6.
So 34 years.
Yes, absent. He should believe that the mother is good, is the bad person. So by the time he was going to know the truth, the mother was dying of cancer. So he didn't have time to spend with the mother. The guy is still thinking outside there. I can't get a hold of him.
So it can affect you at any point, at any stage.
The moment you know the truth. Yeah,
and
it can affect you at that time, and it is really creating a lot of problem in our society right now.
Raising these children this way.
In this way, and what you forget, if I die, if I'm the one who alienated children from you, who is my ex, if I die, what will the children go to? Who's the next of kin? Is the dad?
Yes.
Or is the mom?
Now that.
Yeah, and we forget about this. An alien will not think about this. They don't think about the children's welfare. They think about themselves. Because a wise parent should understand that in case I die, then the children will go to their
father.
And remember, you had trained them to hate the father. So they're coming to you with an attitude already. Like you're not a good person. So starting afresh to discipline these children.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays, ni hard. So my request is just that it shouldn't happen. Just learn to cooperate. So learn to have those rules going on in the house. When the children comes to my house, yes.
They are the same rules.
The same rules. No, the same rules. The children knew. Anajua amaze hivi vile kunaendanga.
Mom na dad hawakuwagi different.
Ikuwagi different. Kama ni decide ni hivi.
Yes.
Yes. So out of plan minds zetu. Because children can also be very manipulative.
We know that.
Yeah, they can be very manipulative.
So the negative aspect of all this.
The negative aspect for the targeted parents might end up into depression, might end up drinking a lot, might end up, being people unhealthy. Or the children is worse, because the child grows up with a lot of questions, a lot of anger, a lot of gaps. We have ever seen these guys who date more than many women after shaky because after madake. Remember, aligro bila mama. So and after your gap madake, and after. So I don't people from different women. You find a man who also grew up without a dad, and after from a mom and after dad, yeah, come on, them after dad. Unfortunately, parental alienation is kind of intergenerational. Unapata kama nilifanyikia watu wangu
hereditary. It's like hereditary.
Yeah, ni curse mbaya manze. Ni curse mbaya. It's just a very bad curse because it never ends with you. The children will go through it. It's either watakuwa alienated ama watakuwa alienators.
That is a very amazing topic. Our guest today has brought about a very important topic that is affecting our society. And I would want her to give us the parting shot.
Parting shot. Please, I'm begging your parents, in a particular place ingine, you don't get along with the other person, which is okay. It's okay if you don't get along, but when you separate or when you divorce, don't divorce the children as well. Don't make the child hate the other parent because it is important. And so to the society, before you name somebody a deadbeat mom or a deadbeat dad, try and find out really, is it true? If a child says that they were molested in one way or the other, try and be the older person and find out if it's a good thing.
So, her name being Caroline Oren.
Bossy.
Not bossy.
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 Yeah.
From us on 101, till next time.